So, oh, sorry.
Hello. Come on in. I'm not showing my face today. That's okay, right? Come on in. Come on in. Hello, hello, hello. I have some Trump Mega stuff and then I have some Meghan stuff. Hello, Leslie. It's so good to see you. Hi, Pickles. Welcome. Good to see you. So good to see you guys. Hello, Polo. What's up? How are you doing? Polo's in the house. Are you going live today, Polo? Polo's in the house. Polo's in the house. Polo's in the house. Tremendous Thursday. I'll go live tomorrow for Fireball Friday. Woohoo! Fireball Friday. Fireball Friday. At Polo's house. At Polo's house. Whoa. Hello, Kareen. Hello, hello, hello. So today is going to be about Trump's MAGA is falling apart and Meghan and Harry up to no good. Okay, good morning, Lady Letitia. And just wanted to drop some good news. Lady T's page is gone. Get out of town! Ha ha! Lady T's page is gone. She was so disgusting. She was talking about how she hate white people, how she hate black people, how she hate people. She was so nasty. Now all we got to do is get maggot off. Ha 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 ha. Ha ha. Vow. Just vow. I asked Donat about her, and he said there is something wrong with her. Ha 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 ha. I am so excited that she's gone. They removed your page, you heifer. Your page got taken. Did she make an announcement about it? How do you know, Corrine, that it's been terminated? Terminated. Ooh, okay. Ha ha, that's what you get. Today is a very good day. Hello, Snowdrop. It's gone. You can't find it. I don't see it, Corrine. I can't find it. It's gone. Ha ha. That's what she get. Just vow. It's a vow situation. Remember I was telling you about that girl that you were like, who was that? Honey.
I'm sorry, what?
Remember you were like, who was that? And she was windmilling for maggot. And you were like, who's that yelling?
Oh, yeah.
Her channel's gone.
It's gone?
Yep, they kicked her off.
Oh, my God.
They kicked her smooth off.
Wow.
Oh, that is not good. I'm glad he's doing okay. Snowdrop. Ha ha. The wicked witch is gone. The wicked witch is gone. The wicked witch is gone. Ding dong, the wicked witch is dead. The wicked witch is gone. She was the wicked witch of YouTube. Okay, where's this at? Let me see. What's your guy's name? Secular? Can you?
Secular Talk?
Yeah.
Kyle Kalinske. Yeah, Kyle Kalinske. That's his name. You can mention Kyle Kalinske or Secular Talk.
There it is.
But he's very passionate.
This is the one I want to do. Make a civil war.
When they're all fighting each other, but they'd still vote for him.
They're fighting each other.
But they'd still vote for him. Like, if the vote were tomorrow, they'd still vote for him.
Tell you guys a little bit about Lady T. Let's see, how can I describe her? She was on Maggot's channel, Windmilling for Maggot, talking about me, Stormy, Polly, and some other people. And she was just real vulgar, real foul mouth. And I just remember her saying she hates the N-word and she hates white people, and was saying that and saying just all kinds of stuff. Just batty. You know? I'm about to be monetized. I was gonna show you her page. Not show you her page, but let you.
So the Maga pundit class
a little bit, but her page is gone. She's in the Smithsonian. She was horrible. Hello, Michelle Lee. Good morning, Layla, Tisha, Leslie, everyone. Hello, Pickles. Yeah, that's. Let me see if I can. Hold on. Dang it. I wish Maggot's channel was gone. This is her talking crazy.
On the internet saying that I don't love my mom. But ain't nobody called CPS.
That's her.
Like, no, but I'm saying that's what she tried to equate. 1 second, Lacey. I'm sorry. I swear to God, I'm glad my kids is grown, and I'm already trying to avoid a life sentence. A motherfucker would have ever played with me like that, and my kids ain't never had to have nothing like that. I'm a good ass mama, you know what I'm saying? I don't play no games with my children. A motherfucker would have played with me on this app about some CPS. I'm telling you, I'm going to jail. I'm taking everybody out. Straight up. Like, you motherfuckers is weird as fuck. This is a disgusting ass app. Y'all people taking shit way too far. Y'all not you so focused on hating the mother that you're not understanding what you're inflicting on the child. She got to remember, as a child, I remember these people coming to me asking me about my mom. Shit that shouldn't even have to fucking happen because you don't like her mom. Bitch, then come outside. It's a multitude of ways to handle this shit without using corporations, bitch, because motherfuckers got hands that work on my mom.
And that's the kind of trauma responses they were getting, Lady T, that they were reporting, because they were coming at me with, I have Ed for rider. She is a low rider.
I seen him vouching for you, and that's what you
cries about her dad and his ashes. And said that man was not dangerous.
Her doxed her, so she went ready at her, whatever the fuck. But I'm like, okay, bitch, this motherfucker really, really, really doxed you, like in a real way, and you over here.
That's her. Mega is not going strong, Debo.
is really not doing too well, y'all, because they are split. They are split. They are at each other's. So the Maga pundit class is really not doing too well, y'all, because they are split. They are split. They are at each other's throats. The Maga base is certainly more aligned than.
That's the lady with the tattoo that's been kicked off of YouTube. Mega is falling apart. Yes. Get out of denial. Yeah, that's the lady with Denot's tattoo on her neck. Here, let me show you. Hopefully you'll be able to see it. Okay, here she is right here. Can y'all see her? See the word Denot? Denot right there on her neck. Mega.
And the commentary class is, but it is leading to some hilarious and awesome feuds that I'm going to walk you through here. So Ted Cruz, of course, wants to run for president in 2028.
I think Denot likes both. He's fluid. I think he likes men and women. He doesn't have a preference. Bye, Lady T. Windmilling for Al doesn't pay. That's right, Junkyard Dog. See you in the Smithsonian. Nothing, Cece. You haven't missed anything yet. We're going to talk about Donald Trump. Lady T is gone. She's off the map. Ha ha.
And he wants to run as like the traditional Republican, right? Tax cuts for the rich, deregulation.
First of all, Ted Cruz is not going to be a president. Nobody's voting for him. He's barely in the Senate. So go somewhere and sit down, Ted Cruz. Nobody wants you as a president. Think again. I think they're arguing with each other. Maga is arguing with each other. So it doesn't seem like they're getting along. Michelle. The Smithsonian. Lady T is in the Smithsonian. See you later, alligator. After a while, Cracker Dow. Low life. Yeah, she wants you to talk about Denot. She wants to talk about Denot and how Denot did this to her and that to her, and he did this and he did that. No, he didn't want you, and he rejected you, and then you lost it. Windmilling means someone that is taking up for someone. So Lady T is backing up Maggot with her BS. Backing her up, agreeing with her, saying that we're nothing and she hate us and all this other stupid stuff. I told him, I said, she's made a video about you. He said, she has. I don't watch her. Hello, Cassandra.
Wall Street.
Good to see
all
you.
That shit. Fuck the poor. But also massive warmongering. So he wants to run as like MAGA and Trumpism on steroids. That's what he wants to do. Like, hey, everything you're doing is great, except you should do more war. You should do more warmongering, okay? So kind of a lost cause and a psycho. I mean, it's kind of amazing how out of step he is with your average American. But he is so convinced that, like, he's got it nailed. Remember when he said in that interview with Tucker Carlson, like, I got involved in politics to serve Israel? And everybody was like, did you just say that out loud? Like, why would you say that out loud? Even if that was true, why would you admit that? Like, obviously, everybody's going to be like, wait, I thought this was, like, America first. So, anyway, he's at this event where he goes off on Tucker and basically declares war on him, basically issues the conservative equivalent of a fatwa against Tucker Carlson. Let's take a look.
And I will say on the right, I have seen more anti-Semitism in the last 18 months on the right than at any point in my lifetime. A year and a half ago, I could not have imagined we would be here having this conversation.
By the way, notice how this is literally a conference on anti-Semitism. It's a conference on anti-Semitism. Okay.
And it is growing. And it is gaining real purchase, especially with young people.
Let me just point out, I love how the same people who enthusiastically supported the annihilation of everybody in Gaza, they like were cheering on the genocide with their pom-poms and didn't skip a beat. Like, we're just totally on board for that. They're going to lecture, look at this bigotry, is disgusting. Look in the mirror, slapstick. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, you guys are the problem. You guys all defend Randy Fine, who literally said we should nuke Gaza like it's Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So that's why, like, these people have no moral authority. I'm sorry, they just can't talk about anti-Semitism like this. These are the people who poo-poo every other form of bigotry. They like scoff at misogyny and sexism. They scoff at the idea of like anti-black racism. They scoff at the idea that the way they treat immigrants is bigoted against brown people. But like the one area where they want to be woke is like, oh, anti-Semitism. And why does Ted Cruz take this position? Because it's not actually about anti-Semitism. He's using that as a shield to protect the apartheid ethno-fascist state of Israel. Okay? Like, his issue is not actually with anti-Semitism. His issue is with anti-Zionism. So this is all just a smokescreen. It's all total bullshit, but everybody's beginning to see through it.
I agree, Norm, that we're winning with folks in this room with some gray or salt and pepper in their hair. But in a college classroom, I'm a lot less certain.
You're an idiot, Ted Cruz.
And it is being spread by loud voices, the most consequential of whom is Tucker Carlson.
Let me just say, I cannot stand the way he talks. It is so fake. It is so politician-y. But he's about to open up a little bit. Here we go.
I believe Tucker Carlson is the single most dangerous demagogue in this country.
Oh shit, son.
Please.
Oh, shit, son.
Donald Trump
I'm
is
washed.
it.
I am washed. Why doesn't he know my name, and why can't he say my name? Why can't you call me the most dangerous demagogue in this country, bro? I'm here specifically to make Ted Cruz's life a living hell, specifically to expose how he is a loathsome, vile, wretched, repulsive little cretin. That's my job. So I have failed you if he didn't bring me up first. But as you all know, the way it's working these days on the right is like, if you are nominated.
Attention, everyone. Attention. Daisy has given me a super chat. I have a poll going on. Not a poll, but a goal set today. And let's see if we can reach it. 1 down, 4 to go. Now I got to sing Daisy Lee a song. Daisy Lee, Daisy Lee, Daisy Lee, Daisy Lee, Daisy Lee, Daisy Lee. Thank you so much for my super chat. Thank you so much for my super chat. Daisy Lee, Daisy Lee. Thank you so much, sweetheart. Thank you so much, sweetheart. Now let's put some fanadoos in the chat for Daisy Lee for helping me meet my goal today. Fanadoos. There we go. Thank you, Daisy Lee. Thank you, Leslie. Yeah, she's the one that sent Donat some money and thinking they had something going on. Did she meet Donat in person? No, she did not meet Donat in person. She just put a tattoo on her neck saying Donat and was hoping that we're going to get together. Donat is not in love with her. He said that she will give you money and then she'll start mistreating you. So it's best not to take her money. Thank you, guys. Support my channel. Michelle, I'm announcing it now. I have a goal set. So far, I have met one of my goals thanks to Daisy Lee. And I got a bell. Attention, wake up, Calypso. Hello. Oh, I got another super chat. I met another goal, guys. Hold on. Demons in the bushes. I got my bell. Attention, everyone. Attention. Leslie has given me a super chat. Thank you so much, Leslie. Now I got to make a song for you. Leslie. Leslie, thank you. Thank you, Leslie. 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 Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, sweetheart. Sweetheart. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Put some hearts in the chat for Leslie. Yay. Woo. Put them fans. Where them fans at? Where them fans at? Cece, thank you. Thank you for enjoying my songs. Yes, Michelle, that is correct. I have 2 super chats, 2 super stickers, 2 super chats, 3 to go to meet the goal today.
Nominally closer to them on the spectrum. If you're nominally in the club of MAGA or, you know, the broader Republican Party, they're like the spurned lover. They feel like, how dare you? And that's why they're going after those guys more aggressively. But I vow to you, I will stop at nothing until Ted Cruz says my name first.
And I'll tell you, I've made the decision that I'm going to take him on head directly.
Bruh. How'd you fuck that up? I'm going to take him on head directly. Ted, oh my God. When you're issuing your fucking like little conservative fatwa, maybe like, I don't know, be on point a little more. Should have had some extra caffeine in the morning or something, dog. What is this? That was so embarrassing. Like, and Tucker's supposed to be watching this going, ooh, oh, he's going to take me on head directly. Oh, that was so embarrassing. I got to see that again. What is wrong with this guy?
I've made the decision that I'm going to take him on head directly.
Let me know how that goes, fella. Let me know how that goes. Oh my God. I'm sorry. He just has quite possibly the most off-putting.
So Michelle, if you type fan in your subject line, your fan should come up. Ted Cruz is a moron. You're a moron, Ted.
Personality
Remember when he went to Cancun and left all of us here by ourselves to fend for ourselves? Yep. He went to Cancun while there was a storm.
On planet Earth, right? I'm Ted Cruz. Me. And I would like to say...
No, it works on Android.
That I'm going to speak
Android
like a politician. And I'm going to take on Tucker head...
Type in hand...
Directly. What a loser.
Michelle Lee, type in hand... Rocky Doolittle, type in hand fan, HAND fan. Type in hand fan. Try that.
Oh my God, man. But I love it, man. Give me the popcorn. You know, let me sit back, relax, and soak this in. I'll sip on some lemonade, y'all. This is what we want. We want these guys going at it aggressively. That's what we want to see. So then we also have this one. God, he doesn't know the first thing about how to deal with like trolls, bro. He doesn't know the first thing about how to deal with people who are like mocking him. Because listen to what he admits he wrote.
I could tweet this morning, "Good morning." And hundreds of anti-Semitic responses would immediately fill my social media.
Hundreds of anti-Semitic responses if you say good morning. Now, wait until you hear what he considers anti-Semitism. You're going to love this.
Turns out I've seen many times an image of myself in a bikini with the flag of Israel.
Oh, you just said it's anti-Semitic for people to show you in a bikini with the flag of Israel on it. Bro, you're a joke. That's not anti-Semitism. The point people are making is you are a cuck to Israel. You sold out to Israel. You literally said you got into politics to represent Israel. You've taken what, over $5 million or something like that from AIPAC? Like, the point is, you are representing a foreign country. You care more about that foreign country and pleasing those lobbyists than you do about pleasing Americans. If you cared about pleasing Americans, you would have to fight for things like a higher minimum wage. You would have to fight for things like universal background checks for guns. You would have to fight for things like universal health care. You would have to end the wars, support ending the wars. So like when people post that, like what they're doing is they're saying, you're a cuck, you're a beta, you're not an independent thinker, and you've rented your mind out to war criminal psychopaths like Benjamin Netanyahu in Israel. And the fact that you consider that as anti-Semitism really gives the game away.
Whoa,
like I said earlier, they're not actually upset about anti-Semitism.
Today.
There's so
Woo! Lisa B in the house. Let's all put some hearts and some fans in the chat for Lisa B as I sing her song. Lisa B, Lisa B. Lisa B, Lisa B. Lisa B, Lisa B, Lisa B. Lisa B, Lisa B, Lisa B. Lisa B, we thank you so very much for our super chat. Super chat. Thank you, Lisa B, for our super chat. Thank you, Lisa B, for our super chat. Yeah. Woo! 3 down and 2 to go. Let's put some hearts and some fanadoos in the chat for Lisa B. If you type in hand fan, it will come up. Hand fan. Thank you, Lisa B. Woohoo! Hello, Mary, the bell, loving it. I love the bell too. Mega isn't falling apart. Cruz has always been that way, says Mary. Thank you, Lisa B. You're a sweetheart.
So much anti-Semitism on the right. Like, it's insane. You can't even see straight through the anti-Semitism on the right. The real issue is they're genuinely mad at anti-Zionism, right? That's why they would say, like, oh, there's an alliance between, like, AOC and Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar and Tucker Carlson. The fuck there is, bitch! No, the Democrats in that equation, they are anti-Zionist, or they are critical of Israel. And I'm sorry, it's not the same thing. You cannot conflate what Nick Fuentes is doing, where he says he thinks Hitler is pretty fucking cool, with any left-winger in the country whose issue is with Zionism. It's with an ethno-state. It's with apartheid, okay? It's with a crusading imperialist fascist state that is stealing more.
Our country is doing really well. I mean, at a level that nobody thought. We took a little excursion because we felt we had to do that to get rid of some evil. And I think you'll see it's going to be a short-term excursion.
It's Ken Harbaugh with the Midas Touch Network. Donald Trump is already trying desperately to undo the forces he has set in motion. America's war against Iran is not a little excursion. The night before Donald Trump delivered those remarks, his Secretary of Defense was on 60 Minutes insisting that the attacks we've seen so far are, quote, just the beginning, and that he and the president were willing to put boots on the ground. All of this lack of direction and purpose is in the context of an administration that has fetishized war. Since Pete Hegseth assumed leadership of the Pentagon, we've all seen the warrior ethos cosplay, which, by the way, most true military professionals laugh at. And now we have this absurd and disgusting war porn being released by the White House. I'm going to talk over it as it plays because I want to spare you the indignity of having to listen to it. This represents a new low, and that's saying a lot given just how low the Trump regime has taken us. This montage of movie and video game clips with actual gun camera footage showing American bombs killing people, it's one of the most disgusting and disrespectful things I've seen. And it came from the White House, not from some adjacent troll account. It was our government that put this out. If ever there was any doubt that the Trump regime views war like it's a game or a movie, here's the proof. This is the message they are sending to the American people. War is fun. War is exciting. The best thing about an American bomb blowing something up is that we can get a few viral memes out of it. For anyone who has seen war up close, it's not a game. It's not funny. I know there is a dark humor that sustains soldiers on the front lines. I've been in trenches with Ukrainian suicide drone crews who use humor to stay sane. But even they, especially they, expect more of their leaders. I'm telling you, there are American service members downrange right now wondering why in God's name they should entrust their lives to people who think this is what war is. We are being led by dangerous fools who have no appreciation for either the lessons of history or the weight of their responsibilities today. Senator Andy Kim knows that better than anyone. He was a senior advisor to General Petraeus in Afghanistan. He served on the National Security Council. He had a front row seat to the policy decisions that led to America's failures in our other recent military misadventures overseas. I asked Senator Kim what he thought. Senator Kim, thanks so much for joining us. You are one of the most credentialed senators when it comes to foreign policy, when it comes to national security. You were side by side with David Petraeus in Afghanistan. You were a member of the NSC. You investigated a massacre in Iraq. Does it feel 10 days into this like deja vu all over again? Like we are just not learning the lessons of history? How is this landing with you as someone who's been downrange, who has seen the consequences of our mistakes and foreign misadventures like Iraq, like Afghanistan? What are you feeling?
Yeah, I feel like we haven't learned the lessons at all. And that we are just right back to where it was, and it's just in many ways even worse situation because like I've never seen as you said, I worked at the State Department, I worked at the Pentagon, at the White House. I've never seen America this alone in the world. I was at the Munich Security Conference and heard from so many of our allies how they're just done. They're just done with all this chaos. One of them told me that in their own country, when they're talking about the United States, they now talk about us as a national security threat to their national security. And it's just like, I'm so sad to just see just how quickly we have just decimated our world leadership and put ourselves in a place that I just think is so much more dangerous than anything I could have imagined. And then the fact that, we just see, Americans in harm's way again, service members back in the Middle East. And it doesn't have to be this way, and it shouldn't be this way. And I see that, you see that from your service. There are reasons why we follow the Constitution. There are reasons why we try to lift up the voice of the American people. And, I keep saying this is not just, this is not some tug of war between branches of government. This is about how do we make sure that we are doing what the American people want us to do. And right now, the American people so clearly have stated that they don't want us to be in a open-ended regime change war in the Middle East again.
And it's not just American service members who, of course, should be top of mind, but it's also civilians in affected countries around the world. It's American civilians who our government appears to have abandoned. And when the president was asked why there doesn't seem to have been planning for the evacuation of embassies, or at least the securing of them, his response was, well, it all happened so fast. Now, I have to check myself because I'm a liberal podcaster. I sometimes worry about being stuck in a bubble, but you're in DC. You're next to the president. You're surrounded by his Republican defenders all the time. Is the naivete, the lack of preparation, the utter incompetence that we perceive as bad as it looks?
Yeah, it's shocking. It's shockingly bad, just the level of incompetence, but just outright, like, it's not just the incompetence. There's such a hubris with this president, such an arrogance. So, and look, I'm like, all of his arguments, like, none of it makes any sense. If they're legitimately claiming that there was an imminent threat to, Americans, if there was retaliation, well, why didn't we pull out from some of these embassies? Like, they had time to do it for Beirut, but not for the dozen other countries that they ended up putting evacuation orders. Even still to this day, we're still seeing this slow drip of embassies in terms of the staff being able to go on departure notice. It's very clear it was an afterthought. Like, the protection of Americans was an afterthought. And this whole setup was the president clearly made up his mind about starting this war, and then this administration leadership has just trying to reverse engineer an explanation for why they did this. And they're just like, I'm in the security briefing with Rubio and Hegseth, and I'm just listening to them, and I'm just like, they are literally just making this up as they go along. Like, they do not have a strategy, they do not have clearly defined goals because they keep changing. And it's not just about our service members or our embassy staff or even Americans abroad, which should have been at the forefront of the mind.
Donald Trump is panicking as his unlawful war against Iran, it is beyond out of control at this point. While Donald Trump claims the United States has won the war and has totally decimated Iranian capabilities, and Trump said, I want all the businesses to know the Strait of Hormuz is safe. Let's use it. Go out there. We've saved the day. You've got the Strait of Hormuz all to yourself right now. We are seeing ship after ship being hit by Iran. And Donald Trump is creating a false sense of security, telling them to go, and they are being hit mercilessly right now by Iran. I mean, last night I learned that the UK Office of Maritime Trade Operations reported an Iranian attack on another container ship in the Persian Gulf in the United Arab Emirates. Earlier yesterday, remember, there were those 3 ships that were hit in the Strait of Hormuz. And then the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps Navy leader said, "We warned you not to cross. And we said we were going to do it, and you didn't get our permission, so we're striking you down." The Strait of Hormuz is effectively shut down right now. It is shut down right now. The price of oil right now is surging. By the way, off the coast of Iraq, there were these ship-to-ship transfers taking place with a Malta-flagged Greek ship and a Marshall Island flagged U.S. ship that were doing this ship-to-ship transfer. Those were hit by an Iranian unmanned vessel. I mean, Iran is rolling out all this equipment right here. You think about the devastation to the area as well, with the sheer amount of oil that was there, that's likely in the water right now. You have that taking place. But with all of this going down, though, late last night, Donald Trump gave this bizarre interview after that disastrous speech he gave in Kentucky. And in this interview, he was like, "I want all the businesses to know you're great. You're doing well. Like, go use the Strait of Hormuz. Things are great right now." He said the strait is in great shape. What do you mean the strait is in great shape? The strait couldn't be in worse shape. Here, play this clip.
Treasury Department buy oil futures as a means to keep the oil prices down or bring the oil
we're going
prices
to be in
down.
very good shape. You see what's happening. They are pretty much at the end of the line. Doesn't mean we're going to end it immediately, but they've got no Navy, they've got no Air Force, they've got no anti-air traffic, anything. They have no systems of control. We're just riding free range over that country. And now we're going to look very strongly at the Straits. The Straits are in great shape. We've knocked out all of their boats. They have some missiles, but not very many. I think we're in very good shape.
And then Donald Trump is asked, "Well, what have you heard?" By the way, Peter Ducey of Fox asked this question. "What have you heard about the bulletin that Iran may be plotting revenge in California with drones?" And Trump's like, "It's being investigated. You've got a lot of things happening." You have a lot of things happening. That's your answer? What's wrong with this guy? Here, play this clip.
President Trump, what have you heard about this bulletin that some law enforcement put out about a possible Iran revenge plot in California, where there would be some kind of a boat offshore launching drones towards the...
It's being investigated, but you have a lot of things happening. And all we can do is take them as they come. And the war itself is being prosecuted as well as anybody has ever seen. And this is other countries telling me too. Big countries, powerful countries. They said they've never seen anything like it. And they also agree with what I'm doing. They say it's an evil country, and it's been for 47 years that way.
What about sleeper cells, Donald? Have you been briefed about sleeper cells? And he goes, "We've got our eye on all of the sleeper cells." You've got your eye on the sleeper cells? What does that even mean? You've got your eye. You're just going to let them just chill? What are you talking about? Play this clip.
And it's been for 47 years that way.
And if they try to hit us back, have you been briefed about how many Iran sleeper cells there could be inside the U.S. right now?
I have been, and a lot of people came in through Biden with this stupid open border. So we know where most of them are. We've got our eye on all of them, I think.
Is it dozens?
They came in through the open border policies of Sleepy Joe Biden, one of the worst president in the history of our country.
Lies.
We've got our eyes on all of them, but the war itself is being prosecuted at a level that nobody's seen before. It's pretty...
Then to remind you, Donald Trump was in Kentucky earlier yesterday, where he was out there saying that we won the war and that the name Operation Epic Fury is a great name, and we won the war and it's over and we're the greatest. Play this clip.
Paducah. And as we take decisive action to stop the threat posed by the terrorist regime in Iran with Operation Epic Fury.
They're not a terrorist.
Is that a great name? Well, it's only good if you win. You know, you can only do. And we've won. Let me tell you, we've won. You know, you never like to say too early you won. We won. We won the bet. In the first hour, it was over.
Wow.
So yesterday also there was a meeting taking place in Miami between Trump's regime and Putin's regime. Yeah, in Miami. Was it secret? No. So Russia is helping Iran try to kill Americans, destroy American assets, and win the war. Russia, through Putin, is out there saying publicly, we have, complete and utter support for Ayatollah Manjabi, the new, far more extreme Ayatollah, if that was even possible, and far more deadly one, even according to the Jerusalem Post, far more deadly than the old Ayatollah, right? Putin's praising the guy. And so what does Donald Trump do after all our intelligence shows that Russia is helping Iran in this war, which is not a shock. They're allies with each other, Russia, China, Iran. What do you think is happening in Ukraine? Donald Trump, his regime hosts the Russians in Miami. Yet again, what do they meet in Miami every other week? And again, they're not hiding it. Steve Witkoff, the individual, the thing who botched the mediation, the whole Trump regime botched it. And there was no good faith to begin with. And let's just say that with Iran, where the Oman foreign minister had a deal in principle that was reached, that then that night the U.S. struck Iran because we believed Israel was going to strike first. Here's what Witkoff said. Today in Florida, the Russian delegation led by Special Envoy Dmitriev met with the U.S. delegation, including Special Envoy Witkoff, Kushner, and White House Senior Advisor Josh Greenbaum. Okay, to which Kirill Dmitriev, Russia's envoy to the U.S., says, "Thank you, Steve, Jared, and Josh, for a productive meeting." Wow, very productive meeting between the U.S. and the Russians. While Zelensky's trying to help the U.S. with anti-drone technology and help our allies, or perhaps we should call them at this point, our former allies in the Middle East. Zelensky has the technology because the Shahid drones from Iran and those ballistic missiles have been used because the alliance is Iran, Russia, China against Ukraine. And Zelensky realizes this is a second front of a world war, essentially, that's now been opened up in the Middle East because of Donald Trump, with Russia and China helping Iran against the U.S. and against U.S. and NATO interests in the Middle East. So can I help you, Donald? Well, maybe you could help my son, Eric, who is doing a drone company, who would love some of that technology and would love that IP for his technology. Zelensky's like, what the hell is going on here? And then Donald Trump's holding meetings with the Russians to undermine Ukrainian sovereignty. Isn't it just so dang obvious what is going on here? By the way, more black smoke can still be seen from Bahrain's international airport. Strikes there. The port of Salal in Oman, their main petroleum facility, utterly destroyed by Iran. What about cyber attacks by Iran? Yep, they're doing that too right now. Iran expands its war with a major cyber attack against the U.S. company medical technology giant called Stryker. The logo of an Iranian link group appeared on devices of employees of Stryker. Yep, U.S. medical device maker Stryker was hit with a cyber attack from Iranian hacktivists who remotely wiped employee devices. Many employees have had their devices and data wiped and cannot access their accounts. Stryker makes surgical imaging equipment, defibrillators. The hackers say they targeted Stryker in retaliation for U.S. bombings of the all-girls school in Iran. They say they have wiped more than 200,000 Stryker systems, servers, and mobile devices, and stole 50 terabytes of critical data, forcing Stryker offices in 79 countries to shut down. So we can expect that to expand as well right now. So what's the White House posting? Like, how are they dealing with this, right? As here are the countries that were hit on day 12 of the Iran war by the U.S. Oman, Kuwait, UAE, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Bahrain, Iraq, Iran, Israel, Lebanon, and the Strait of Hormuz, right? This is a regional war. This is a massive in scope right now, right? So what's Donald Trump posting? He's posting videos like this on the White House account. Strike, doing bowling videos where the pins are, we won't stop making nuclear, the pins are Iran, I guess. And they say, we won't stop making nuclear weapons. And like they think that this is supposed to be funny right here. I'll tell you what's not funny, that the Iranian military spokesperson says that we will make sure that oil is $200 per barrel. Not a single liter of oil will pass through the Strait of Hormuz if it benefits the United States and Israel. How about this? According to a release from the U.S. Department of Energy, as part of the multilateral effort to release 400 million barrels of oil to stabilize the market, Donald Trump authorized the Department of Energy to release 172 million barrels of oil from the U.S. Strategic Petroleum Reserve beginning next week. According to the release, it will take approximately 120 days to deliver. So how's that helping oil? Well, crude oil is surging to over $95 per barrel after that announcement right there. Because look, it's a 40% reduction in the current supply of crude oil held by the U.S. Strategic Petroleum Reserve. So it's basically cutting it in half. So oil's surging 8% or more after hours, pushing $5 diesel as more likely in $4 a gallon gasoline, likely going to see that sooner. Out here in California, it's like already $6 or $7 a gasoline. As Gregory Brew, who covers this stuff, says, so the U.S. is releasing 172 million barrels from the strategic reserves. It will be done over 120 days, so 1.4 million barrels per day, though they will have trouble putting out more than 1 million barrels per day. So the strategic reserve will be left with approximately 240 million barrels per day left. Do I get this right? This is really something. By really something, he means stupid, because the amount of petroleum that's actually the amount of barrels per day that's needed is over between 20 and 30 million a day is what's needed. So 1 million is not going to make a dent, but over the course of 120 days, it will deplete our strategic reserves. So like quite literally, what the hell are we doing right here? And if you wondering, well, is Iran going to surrender? They have no interest in surrendering. They know that this is a war of attrition. They know that they actually have Donald Trump by the little tiny marble things that may or may not even be there at this point, or never were there. Sorry for the visual. Iranian's President Pezeshkian outlined what Iran views as a path to end the war, saying it must include recognition of Iran's legitimate rights, payment of reparations, firm international guarantees against future aggression. Pezeshkian says he conveyed the message during talks between leaders of Russia and Pakistan, because that's the damn alliance, Donald. And I know you threw India under the bus for Pakistan, but guess who's talking? Your buddies over in Pakistan. Yeah, I know they gave crypto money to your World Liberty Financial, so you had their chief general over as well, because they lied and said you deserve the Nobel Peace Prize, by the way. Remember that Nobel Peace Prize? I stopped 8 wars. Remember? Oh my God. But here's what Pakistan's president wrote. Talk to the leaders of Russia and Pakistan. I reaffirm Iran's commitment to peace in the region. The only way to end this war, ignited by the Zionist regime in the U.S., is recognizing Iran's legitimate rights, payment of reparations, and firm international guarantees. And so what Iran is doing, by the way, just so you know, and this is what Russia's guiding them on, is the language that Ukraine is using, firm international guarantees, these types of things. Iran is now using that language at the behest of Putin to try to create moral equivalence as well, to also undermine any effort of Ukraine in order to bring peace to the region. And again, this is part of a global. Donald Trump has brought about a global reordering that will make the United States the weakest ever. And again, I think we put this out on our Midas Touch account, which is we're seeing in real time just how Donald Trump was able to bankrupt all of these casinos over and over again, except instead of casinos, it's us. And it's just happening in real time. We can see it. Sad. But those are the facts. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million subscribers. And thank you all so much for watching. Thanks for watching.
It is only just beginning. Donald Trump is a pathological liar. Now, I know what you're thinking, Nate, all politicians are liars, and you are correct. Most of them pathologically so. But there's something unique about Donald Trump in that the market persistently hangs on every single word this guy says, no matter how extensive his track record of bullshittery and duplicity and deceit. It doesn't matter how many times he contradicts himself, how many times he's proven wrong. If he farts in the wrong direction, the markets tank or they rise. For some dumb reason, it makes no sense whatsoever. We just witnessed a historic rise in the price of oil, a 40% intraday spread, never before seen in the history of the planet. And somehow people are convinced that the war is going to end now. Why? Well, because Donald Trump may have said something in passing to a CBS reporter. Are you fucking stupid? Really? I mean, you gotta be dense to not see all the signs. Let me enumerate all of the reasons why you are being fed a steaming hot pile of bullshit right now. Right now, you have France sending another strike carrier group into the Persian Gulf. Why the hell would they do that if this war was about to end? Why is it that while Trump was giving that speech, we've seen the largest ever attacks on Iran since the start of the war? In fact, the capital, Tehran, which I think has 10 to 15 million inhabitants, was almost 80% blacked out as a result of what looked like some kind of EMP weapon. Maybe it was just detonating a transformer, a bomb on a transformer. Very bright flashes. Lots of conspiracy theories about what it might have been, what sort of weapons might have been used. But mark my words, this war is nowhere close to over. Right now, you have a situation with an immovable object and an unstoppable force. The Iranians refuse to give an inch. In fact, they said today that they refuse to allow 1 liter of oil to come out of the Strait of Hormuz. Well, Donald Trump this morning says the Strait of Hormuz is open. Yeah, just take one for the team. Be patriotic. Grow some balls. Just go through the strait. Meanwhile, you have the USS Abe Lincoln and its entire armada sitting comfortably outside the range of Iranian anti-ship missiles and some of their drone and missile technology 700 kilometers outside of the Strait of Hormuz, essentially acting as gatekeepers for all the Iranian ships that try to pass through there, because the end goal is a blockade, because they know they have no solution for the area denial of these Iranian drones. Now, eventually, they're going to have to go in there because the Strait of Hormuz is not open. There was a coordinated campaign by a bunch of right-wing grifters today who all at the same time made the claim that ships were turning off their transponders.
Your World War III update. I'm just going to be blunt. The Middle East is in flames and Iran is fighting like hell. Okay. They are fighting with everything they got. And this is making the administration nervous. And I think they're about to stay on the side of the road and not go into incoming traffic when there ain't nobody coming into the city and you have an open highway right there. We've all seen, the Walking Dead apocalypse type movies where people make that mistake. So mine every 150 meters. Well, you might be saying, well, that's a lot of space. Well, when you're talking about a very large crude carrier, which is 60 meters wide, the odds of hitting one, if you put them perpendicular to the pathway, is 40%. You put 20 mines in there perpendicular to the strait, and you're talking like pretty much a guaranteed hit of anything that goes through there. And all you need is one hit. And that is enough psychological warfare to prevent any ship from going in there again until the U.S. military goes in. Now, there's a possibility that one was already hit, but I think it was a naval drone. It was this ship right here. Let me see if I can find it for you, because there was the bottom of it was damaged. Let me just see if I can find it. I just showed it to you. Yeah, right here. So you could see this. So they're using these unmanned kamikaze naval drones. So clearly it hit the front of the ship, and that basically put it out of commission. So those guys had to be evacuated. Even if it doesn't sink the ship, it still puts it out of commission. And I mean, they ain't messing around. I mean, I've been telling you guys that Trump's full of shit for a long, long time, but now I'm more than ever convinced of that. I've been thoroughly vindicated by anybody who isn't completely in a state of denial and digging their heels in that cognitive dissonant way that people typically do at times like these. Okay, so we have full spectrum attacks on Gulf energy infrastructure. I mean, oil is spiking again. Okay, now people are asking, why is oil spiking when they just agreed to release 400 million barrels? Okay, 1/3 of the global energy reserve is now going to be sent out to market. And just remember, we used to have, just a few years ago, way more than that. It used to be approaching, I think it was 750 million barrels. Then Biden drained it during the Ukraine war. So they're about to go down to about 20% of what it used to be after all is said and done. Okay, so that was priced in on Monday. So this is why the markets are going up, because they're seeing this shit that's happening, shit that I told you was going to happen. And Trump is doing all kinds of damage control, but now they're going to plan B. This is what plan B is. Right. Okay. Now, this was the perfect pitch of a question, purely curated, for the audience and served up to Trump on a silver platter so he could answer in a way that was appropriate and conducive to future military operations. Take a listen to this.
Iran sleeper cells there could be inside the U.S. right now.
I have been, and a lot of people came in through Biden with this stupid open border. So we know where most of them are. We've got our eye on all of them, I think.
Is it dozens?
They came in through the open border policies of Sleepy Joe Biden, one of the worst president in the history of our country. And we've got our eyes on all of them. But the war itself is being prosecuted at a level that nobody's seen before.
Okay, so he had all the buzzwords there, right? Sleeper cells, it's Biden's fault, it's a border issue. So already knowing full well, catering to his base, because he knows that when they do this thing, because listen, is it a surprise that they're only talking about this now? We've been watching them for a while. I mean, okay, so why don't you go and arrest them? You know what I mean? So the fact that they're putting this out there is priming us to get ready for the big attack. And they're talking about doing drone attacks off the coast of California or some dumb shit. You remember when the drone sightings were in New Jersey and people were like, oh yeah, it's Iranian alien spaceship drones working off the East Coast, just insane propositions. And so this is what I suspect they're about to do. I've been saying that the only thing they're missing here, the only ingredient to make this a masterful cuisine of bullshit is a false flag. That's all they need to do whatever they want to do, because everything is in place. The military is being routed out of the Middle East. They are trying to evacuate their military bases. It is that bad. Okay, their troops are under fire and they're trying to evacuate. Iran is just unleashing hell in the region, and we have nobody to blame but ourselves. And that's just a fact. And if you've been brainwashed into believing otherwise, then, take some financial advice from this guy. If you took any financial advice from this guy at this point, you would be broke at this point. Never mind Trump coin. Let me not go into all the potential shenanigans and chicanery that goes on with this cronyistic government, the likes of which I don't think we've ever seen since Nancy Pelosi. But I'm telling you guys, that's what's going to happen. They're going to do it. And they've put all of the other pieces in place as well, whether it's the rapid reaction force that I talked about yesterday for the National Guard. They're automating the process of selective service. They did that back in December of 2025. So you're just streamlined into it now. You don't have to go and physically fill out a piece of paper and apply. So they're just trying to streamline the process of conscription. So when the shit goes down, they can send your ass to war relatively quickly. And if you can really, it takes a lot of cognitive dissonance to tell yourself that, oh yeah, the situation is going great. We have the situation under control. Really? You think they got the situation under control when you're seeing scenes like this?
Look at that.
I don't think so. So, in terms of what else is going on throughout the Middle East, let me just pull up a map for you here, just to have some visual point of reference. We have, as I indicated, several attacks, port storage facilities, even the fuel that the tankers use to fuel up with. I can't remember what they're called, bunkers or something like that. These things are being attacked as well. And so the tankers, when they go in there, they got no place to refuel to get out. And so this puts a lot of pressure on other adjacent ports in the region who are running out of gas. It's not just that people are running out of gas. I'm seeing video footage, and this was just recently sent to me, of not only gas stations run dry and shuttered, especially in parts of East Asia, but grocery stores as well. There's a run on grocery stores. So this situation is getting bad. Iran is saying, if we burn, everybody burns with us. And this is their nuclear card. And the more drastic measures they take, that's how you know they're reaching a point of desperation. And for the Israelis and the Americans, they're going to take that as a sign that they need to put the pedal to the metal because they're almost there. But the IRGC is surprisingly resilient. Now, let me just get on task here. Where should we go? Because there's so much news. There is so much news. Let's anchor in this for a second. So, how could this war potentially come to an end? Well, right now, what they're trying to do is they're playing their X Factor wildcards. And so what they're trying to do is neutralize all of the paramilitary forces, because there are millions of Iranian paramilitary in Iran who are now they have like a religious edict. They have a will to fight that didn't exist before we killed their pope or pope equivalent, which was their top cleric, which was the Ayatollah. So maybe at one point this was just economic, like in Syria. You know, they ran out of money to pay the soldiers, and then they had enough turncoats, and that approached a critical mass of people who just capitulated and defected, and that was the end of it. In Iran, I think it's a different story. You have people who are fighting patriotically. Not only that, so you have the patriotism, you have the fact that Iran is largely self-sufficient, and people are still more or less, they have food and water. But you also now have that religious provocation of taking out their primary guru, and that, of course, has motivated people in ways that I don't think a lot of us can appreciate here in the West. So they're fighting like they have nothing left to lose, and a lot of them aren't afraid to lose whatever they have left, is what I'm trying to say. But that's not going to stop the Israelis from trying to foment some sort of insurrection. And so what they're trying to do now is there's these checkpoints throughout the cities, because the besieged has the nation on lockdown, understandably so. They're in martial law, just like they are in Ukraine. Only in Ukraine, the people are less unruly and perhaps more conditioned to be compliant, which is why they've just...
Okay, guys, we're going to move on from the politics, and we're going to move on to Meghan and Harry real quick, and then we're going to shut this sucker down. I have 3 super chats, 2 to go to meet my goals. Help me out, guys. I really appreciate it. So let's go over to, I have a video of Megadu about her going to Australia, and it's $1,000 a day, $1,000 to meet her, if you want to meet her. We will find out. Let's see, what was I looking for? Here we go. Woo! Go in there. Here we go. How you going, everyone? Let's see here. Down we go. Hold on, guys. Wake up.
announced last week, they're done. Like, they're done with the manufacturing. They're done. It's the kiss of death, according to Page Six, for any future deals. And then she went and did this International Women's Day post. Speaking as a woman, I have no idea what the F International Women's Day is, what it stands for, what it means. I don't particularly need it or want it. But the caption with, Meghan and her daughter with their backs to the camera, for the woman she will one day be. Happy International Women's Day. Photo by Papa Sussex. I mean, the affectation. We understand that Meghan is scrambling. There are now disparate reports coming out about Meghan and Harry planning a trip to Australia, another faux royal trip, where she may or may not be attempting to expand her as ever brand there. What are you hearing, Rob?
Yeah, a couple of things here. So I hear they are going to Australia. The trip has been booked. They are going to go in April, so it's only a few weeks away. They think that this is their opportunity to turn up and really exploit what's going on with the family and Andrew. They can separate themselves. It's not a royal tour. They're there as private citizens.
Oh, come on, though. They're pretending it's a royal tour. They will try to be met by dignitaries, heads of states. William, strip the titles. It cannot come soon enough.
Do you know why he won't do it? I spoke to a friend of William's just a few days ago. When Diana had her HRH title stripped away, he said to her, "Mommy, when I'm king, I will bring it back." And I think he's having those feelings. He's no fan of Harry's, and Harry has certainly not treated him well. But there's some mommy issues here in HRH. That's why these titles, I'm not totally convinced, will be stripped when he is king. But they are going to go to Australia. Everyone I've spoke to said that the itinerary which is being put together is really a show and tell. They're going to test the waters. They're going to see if this could be a market for them. And if it works, we'll see them try this out in different markets now around the world. There is some support for them in Australia. I have friends down under that I spoke to, and they said that to get Harry and Meghan in Australia.
You're right, CC. I got 4 super chats to meet my goal, guys. Help me meet my goal. Thank you.
Australia, there will be people that are excited, especially if they don't go to the big towns. If they go to the smaller towns, people might get very, very thrilled about that. They are seeing people that are super famous, and that's always very exciting. The last time they were there, 2018, was a sensation. This was when they were at the peak of their powers. It was before it got all so ugly. She announced that she was pregnant with Archie while she was there. So they have figured out, took them a minute, that America hasn't worked for them. So they're going to try another country.
Were there reports, Rob, during that initial Australia trip that Meghan said to a courtier, "I can't believe I'm not getting paid for this"?
You're absolutely right.
And then aren't there reports also, never substantiated, but allegedly, reportedly very stubborn reports that in a most displeased moment, Meghan threw a cup of hot tea on an underling because it was not to her liking?
Yeah, I heard she hissed at an underling too. She turned up and she bought into her own celebrity. 1 billion people had just watched her wedding. I'm not defending her, but she turned up there like she was Princess Diana. She's not. But I understand why she's going back to this place. She has a warm memory of it. She doesn't have a warm memory of Britain. I don't think she has a warm memory of America anymore. She'll go to Canada where she really enjoyed herself on Suits. So they're going there to test out a new market. We know that it's probably not going to end well. And even if their heart's in the right place, I doubt it is, but even if it is, these two always mess it up. So if anybody could take what could be.
These two mess it up. They mess it up. They do. They totally mess up everything. Put a 1 in the chat if you agree with me. Woo! Super from CC. Gal reached 5, 2 down, 3 to go. 3 to go. Thank you, CC. Now for your song. CC, thank you. Thank you, CC. You're wonderful, wonderful. CC, thank you. CC, thank you. Thank you, CC, for my wonderful super chat, for helping me meet my goal. CC. Guys, let's put some hearts and some Xanadu's in the chat for our lovely one and only CC Armad. Thank you so much. I'm going to start off the hearts too. Fanadoo. Oh, Fanadoos. There you go. Thank you. 2 down, 3 to go. Super chats. Meghan and Harry are always messing up. Okay. How weird of her to show a picture of her and her daughter, but don't show her face. But talk about how brilliant she's going to be in the future. She's anything like you, Meghan. Pray. Pray. Let's see what else they're saying. I was gonna say
be an opportunity and turn it into a disaster. It's these two. A little bit about Netflix, because I know you love the original reporting. I'm told Kris Jenner's already making phone calls to try and get her a show on Hulu. Kris Jenner and Meghan are really close. Kim Kardashian confirmed this. I never understood this friendship. That's why she turned up at the birthday party, which she messed up too, let me add. But I'm told that Kris is already helping Meghan.
Why?
So she'll get her 10-20%. That's why.
But what would be the concept?
Who knows what it would be? It would be the same show on a different network, which does happen. They have picked up shows. Lots of shows that get cancelled sometimes end up on different networks. And so the Kardashians went from E! To Hulu. Now, admittedly, they were a huge hit. And so it's easy to see why you pick them up. Very few shows that fail do that. However, to do a favor for Kris Jenner, maybe, I think what Hulu will say is, instead of giving Meghan her own show, let her join the Kardashians, which isn't out of the question.
Join as a friend of bringing us to the Roni reboot. Oh, wait, before we get to Roni, I've got to ask you, the dead teen had been found on a royal estate. Rob, what do you know, if anything, about this coverage?
It happened several years ago. The Telegraph broke this story, and there was a person found, a young woman, I believe, dead on the royal estate, and it's gone, what?
Which one? Do we know which one?
I think they do. It's on the cover of the National Enquirer this week. It's on my desk, ready to be read immediately after I finish this podcast. But yeah, I remember several years ago, it was very mysterious, and a young person in Britain was found dead. Now, they have hundreds of acres, so I'm just sort of putting it into perspective here. And so she could have been out for a hike, or she could have been dumped there. You know, it's an awful story, but the reason it's come back up is now people have a lot of questions about this royal family and who's partying with them and who's on their royal estates. But the story's true. This is not urban legend. This is not a myth. A young person was found dead on the royal estate, and it was hushed up and nobody spoke about it. The Telegraph broke the story a few years ago, and now this story has suddenly picked up steam again.
Yes, and I will say this, to your point, your qualifier that yes, these estates are on hundreds and hundreds of thousands of acres. And when the UK media goes to press with something, the legal hurdles they go through, because libel laws are so strict. They are so much more stringent than in America. And if anything, especially when it comes to the royals, the British press will pull back rather than go forward. So if they're reporting this, this is very, very significant. And secondly, to anyone out there who may think, that sounds fantastical, there's no way that a royal would have been involved in the death of like a teenage girl. I point simply to the Kennedy family and the lineage of death and destruction of young girls and women in their wake. Happens all the time. Not saying Andrew did anything. I'm just saying, are you wrestling with bras that dig in, shapewear that rolls down constantly, or underwire that feels like medieval torture? Well, introducing Honey Love, a brand designed by people who actually wear bras, women. Their crossover contour bra is wireless, but actually lifts and supports. No constant adjusting and no digging. Their Cloud Embrace sold out in days for a reason. It's lightweight, yet provides shaping support that is comfortable. You can wear it daily under everything from blazers to dresses, and their shapewear offers targeted compression that smooths you without squeezing you like a sausage. So treat yourself to the most advanced bras and shapewear on the market. Use our exclusive link to save 20% off Honeylove at honeylove.com/nerve. That's honeylove.com/nerve. After you check out, they're going to ask where you heard about them. Please support our show. Tell them you're a troublemaker and that the Nerve sent you. Experience the new standard in comfort and support with Honeylove.
Good to see you. Now, I also want to show you guys this Australia trip that Meghan is supposed to be taking, and she's going to charge $3,000.
Regarding Andrew, I think it should be treated like
$3,000 to meet Meghan. Screw that. Somebody I'm going to see for a second, and then that's it. And I'm going to give her $3,000 for shaking her Duchess hand. I don't think so. So we got Royal Family Slim Down and Prince Harry reacts to.
It's Christina, and welcome to Royally Us. Let's get into our royal roundup of the week. Princess Kate had a sweet full circle moment during her latest outing in Wales. She was greeting crowds alongside Prince William when she met two babies with very familiar royal names, one named Will and another named Lily. The names appear to nod both her husband and Queen Elizabeth's childhood nickname, Lilibet, and Kate couldn't help but smile as she stopped to chat with families. Love that. Well, King Charles did not cross paths with his brother Prince Andrew during a recent visit to Sandringham Estate. Despite Andrew currently living on the estate, the king reportedly had no plans to see him. Instead, Charles attended a Sunday service at St. Mary Magdalene Church, keeping a low profile in a camel trench coat. Now, the visit comes just weeks after Andrew made headlines following his arrest on suspicion of misconduct in public office. Well, speaking of Andrew, Prince Harry declined to comment on his uncle during a TV interview while visiting humanitarian groups in Jordan. When a Channel 4 reporter referenced his family, Harry shifted focus, saying that he was there to highlight the incredible work that Jordan does for this region. The Duke of Sussex emphasized Jordan's role as a humanitarian hub amid crises in Gaza and Syria, calling it a critical time to shine a light on the ongoing catastrophe. Well, Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie are reportedly being kept from one of the royal family's biggest events. The Daily Mail reported that the sisters were allegedly banned from attending the Royal Ascot this year as fallout continues over their parents' ties to Jeffrey Epstein. According to the reports, the sisters were blindsided by the decision and are said to be upset, even though they are not accused of any wrongdoing. Sources told the Daily Mail that the sisters are now focused on protecting their families as the controversy surrounding the parents continues. Well, with this reported news, it seems like the monarchy is getting even more slimmed down than anticipated. So what does this mean for the future? Well, author Russell Myers tells us.
When you look at the working royals, a lot of them, the vast majority of them, are over the age of 70. And that is a big problem for William and Catherine. But I definitely think that what they have tried to do, and I demonstrate time and time again in the book, speaking to people very, very close to them, is that they have a totally different vision for the monarchy. It needs to be accountable. It needs to speak to the younger generation, not only at home, but abroad. It needs to be tapped into the issues that are important to young people, whether that's climate change or homelessness, or trying to affect generational change for young kids, which is really, really important, what Catherine is trying to do. But it also needs to create a system that works for the people.
All right, finishing off with our fashion moment of the week, and Princess Kate celebrated St. David's Day in style and with a meaningful fashion statement. The Princess of Wales stepped out in a red houndstooth pleated dress by Alessandra Rich, featuring puff sleeves and a feminine collar, perfectly nodding to the colors of Wales. She paired the look with black heels and a matching clutch, keeping things polished and classic. She also added a daffodil pin to her outfit, the national flower of Wales, tying the whole look to the celebration. Absolutely love to see it. She looked fantastic. All right, that is it for this week's episode of Royally Us. Let me know in the comments your favorite royal moment of the week.
So Joe Rogan has done at least a few episodes since the war in Iran has begun, and he has, largely kind of avoided the topic. Now, I submit to you in this moment, he could bring on somebody who, I don't know, is like an expert on this, who's been covering this from the very beginning. He could bring on somebody like Jeremy Scahill, like Ryan Grimm from Dropsite News. He could bring on somebody who, they're like obsessed with foreign policy and know all the ins and outs and can educate his audience. Instead, he brings on this like grifter asshole, Michael Schellenberger, who's done the same thing as so much, like the Dave Rubin thing, the Jimmy Dore thing, the whole like, oh, I'm a liberal, but the liberals have gone crazy, so now I'm going to be a conservative propagandist. We've seen this 1,000 times. That's what this guy does. Okay, he invites this guy on, and you're not going to be surprised to learn that Joe Rogan is quite somber, and Joe Rogan seems to know on some level that MAGA is crumbling around him, and he bet on the wrong horse. Okay, so let me show you a couple clips. First, let's start with this one where they get into the Iran war.
Rubio said something about how, we had to act because we knew that Israel was going to act anyway. And I think people interpreted it, and then Netanyahu was in the White House a lot. I think this president has shown, whether you like him or not, there's certainly things that I'm unhappy about and have criticized. But I think Trump is in charge. Like, he's making these decisions. There's nobody behind him. There's nobody pulling for all of that. The Russian or whoever, some, or these now the Israelis, it's just, he's clearly, I mean, Elon gave him, $250 million and he still, he didn't give him even the electric car credit, like Trump is in charge, I think that's one of the big lessons from this. And I think that means that there's not a lot of like second order thinking here. Like, oh, what's the move after that? He doesn't know. He's just acting. That's what's so wild about it, is that this older foreign policy establishment, which, was like, let the experts decide what the right foreign policy, all these think tanks, that's just gone now. It's just irrelevant in this presidency. And I don't think it'll come back. Like if you get a Gavin Newsom or a President AOC,
President who?
I don't think, for a minute before Munich, but I don't think it's going to come back. And I think that's what the Prime Minister of Canada realized. I think that's what the Europeans are starting to realize, is that this is a completely different world that we live in than the one we lived in just a couple of years ago.
Which just doesn't make any sense to me unless we're acting on someone else's interests, like particularly Israel's interests. It just didn't make any sense to me.
I hope you're ready for that angry text message, Joe, or that angry phone call. Doesn't make any interest unless we're acting on Israel's behalf. Now, to be fair, that's definitely true. I think they're blackmailing him and they're holding it over his head. And they also paid him a shitload of money to do their bidding, right? But let's also not whitewash the fact that he's always been a warmonger. And this is the shit that drives me crazy, is that these people, it's like they all use that Men in Black flashy thingy, which totally wiped their brains clean of this shit. But bro, he's always been a warmonger. This is the guy who increased drone strikes over 400% in his first term. He increased the Pentagon budget every single year in his first term. And this is when they can't account for 63% of their money and they failed 8 audits in a row. It's a massive fucking slush fund and a giveaway. And he's provided them all the money in the world. He kept us in Iraq. He kept us in Afghanistan. He bombed Syria twice. He bombed Somalia. He assassinated Qasem Soleimani, who was fighting ISIS. He ripped up the Iran agreement. He allowed genocide in Yemen and armed Saudi Arabia as they did it. He pardoned Blackwater war criminals. The list goes on, right? So that's what frustrates me about this, is like, it is true. A lot of this does have to do with Israel. He's serving Israel, serving the Israel lobby. I think he's blackmailed by Jeffrey Epstein and Mossad. They're able to hold that over his head and say, do this regime change or else. They're also, it's like carrot or stick, or we can be your best friends and give you hundreds of millions of dollars, or, we could release this video of you fucking a 14-year-old. It's up to you, bro. I think all that's true. But also, I don't think they had to work that hard to get him to say yes. Because this guy's a fucking idiot. He wants to be a historic president. He's talking about stealing Greenland and shit. Why would a guy who said 1,000 times, like, we're going to take Greenland, we're going to own Greenland, why would he like pump his brakes for Iran? Right? Why would he do that? He wouldn't do that. And here's the thing that these guys can't get through their head. Joe, he lied to your face, skis. Yes, he lied to your face with the whole, like, we spent $8 trillion in the Middle East. Why, it was stupid. We shouldn't have done that. The Iraq war was a big fat.
Why am I on this? What happened to Meghan? Hold on, guys.
Kinsey Schofield, hello.
Am I ready? I'm always ready for you, Jeremy Kyle.
Oh, Zach Polanski, your thoughts?
I got off track a little bit. I'm back.
My thoughts are, where were you? 12 years old.
This man wants to be the prime minister of this country, and his job used to be hypnotizing women. The Sun sent an undercover reporter in. She obviously made the story up, and he stood by the story that her breasts could grow 4 inches by talking to him, Kinsey.
No, I feel like he's truly a magician.
Well, there's something wrong with him. Just before we get into Meghan, did I read a story overnight that California's been warned that it could be at the mercy of drones from Iran or something? Did the FBI, was there a story about this?
Okay, see.
Yeah, Governor Gavin Newsom has addressed it as well, that the police were notified by Washington that Iran could use drones to attack the West Coast. I don't know if we're really taking it seriously. I'm sure that there are some people that are, but why would Iran want to attack us? Like, we're just a bunch of failed reality stars and tampon commercial actresses. Like, is Washington not more of a target? Like,
tampon actresses. I think Zach Polanski should head to California. Great to have you on, my darling. I don't quite know how to get to it. Safe to say, let's talk Meghan Markle. We've talked incessantly about Epstein.
Speaking of failed actresses.
Yeah, talking of failed actresses, Box 23 on Deal No Deal. Whenever I go to the States, the boys and me on the golf trip just sit there watching her in a boob tube that Polanski might have helped her with, but that's another story. She's got so low. I mean, they've lost the Netflix deal. She's going to appear in person at a girls' weekend in Australia where they charge people for a meet and greet. This is like, tell me more, please. It's extraordinary.
Well, Poppy and I have our bags packed. We're ready to go. It's the Her Best Life retreat, and it's being marketed as a luxury women's weekend. This is happening April 17th through 19th. And I will say, strategically, it does feel Harry and Meghan like to tell us that they're showing up in Jordan tomorrow. They do not like to give us a big heads up. I absolutely believe that this was to kill the Netflix story because they didn't want people debating that this is just another huge professional failure. You know, right after Spotify, you've got Spotify, Lemonada, Netflix, the graveyard just keeps getting deeper and deeper. So she's apparently doing this retreat where if you pay between $200 or $2,000 and $3,000, you get to enjoy an intimate gala dinner and a conversation with Meghan Markle. Not personally, you just get to listen to her sit up there and talk about anchoring in herself and other Meghanisms.
Because anchoring in herself.
Yes, that's one of the things she said during her Bloomberg interview. That she's just learned to anchor within herself.
I'd like to drop her anchor and watch her fall in the water. Well, that's ridiculous. So, sorry, they must be desperate for cash then, Kins. Gotta be.
I absolutely think that this is a sign of being desperate for cash. Another sign is that her friend, Marcus Anderson from...
They're broke. Meghan and Harry are broke. Meghan is charging $3,000 a head to sit next to her at a gala. Why would I pay her $3,000 to sit to her in a gala? I don't want to talk to Meghan. I don't have anything to say. Hello?
Soho House literally picked up the phone and called this organization and said, what would you guys think about hosting Meghan? So it's not like this organization reached out to Meghan because they were actually inspired by any of her failed pursuits, business opportunities over the last few years. This is basically a friend doing another friend a favor. But like JK, I'm willing to pay $3,000 for a step-by-step guide to how to grift millions of dollars out of Spotify or Netflix. I would pay $3,000 to listen to, or watch a PowerPoint presentation on how to secure a prince. That's worth $3,000. But whatever these women are getting, God love them, because they will be asking for refunds as they exit the building.
They must be so desperate for cash. Let's bring it also to, we continue the stories and the fallout from Epstein. There's a story doing that. Have you seen this thing that that Andrew touted himself as a second-hand plane salesman to a Victoria's Secret undies boss, boasting he helped his mum buy a jet? Have you heard this story?
I did, yeah. I saw this story in The Sun, and it's so bizarre. I mean, I immediately thought of Harry and Meghan because, again, the word grifter comes to mind. Just how many hats these people have to wear because they don't have a real purpose and they are struggling to stay above water. They're struggling to maintain a lifestyle.
They do not have a real purpose. Meghan doesn't have a purpose. She had Jamma Scam and she had Netflix, Spotify, Lemonado, entrepreneurship, humanitarian, and as ever, and bookmarks and wigs and candles. And then she's reduced down to nothing because Netflix has cut her off officially, doesn't want anything to do with her. And you're starting to hear how she treated these people while they were there. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Let's continue.
And to keep up with the Joneses. I mean, in both cases of Harry and Meghan and Andrew, they like to hang out with high profile people. And so they want to dress the part. They want to show up where those people will be seen. They want that maybe they're going to be on private jets that those people might admire.
Meghan wants to be seen with A-listers, everybody, the who's of Celebrityville. And then she wants her picture taken for the paparazzi. How predictable is she? Again, she wants her picture taken. She wants to be seen. She wants to be heard. Look at me. Look at me. But what are we looking at you for? What do you have to offer? What are you putting out on the table? Woo, the love. I got a super chat, super sticker. The love, the love, the love. I want to thank you so much to love for my super chat. Only 25 minutes to go for our gold. 20 minutes left, guys, to reach our gold. 2 down, 3 to go. To love. Thank you, to love. To love. To love. To love be. To love. To love. To love. To love. Thank you. Thank you. To love. Let's give it up for DeLove and my beautiful song. DeLove. DeLovely. Thank you, sweetheart. You're so kind. 3 down and 2 to go, guys. We can do it. Hello, welcome back, Polo. Now, these 2 couples, Meghan and Harry, are irrelevant. And it does look like they crawled from up under a rock. But yes. They want to be seen. They want to be known. They want to be heard. They want to be popular. They want to have it going on. But they are failing at every attempt. The way that Kinsley and this gentleman is talking just sound like it's a forgot what I was going to say. But do you think these guys are broke? And that's why Meghan is asking for $3,000 for each sit down with her? And I don't think she's going to be sitting at the table with commoners. She's going to be on the stage speaking, talking about how wonderful she is. Pop, 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 pop. Broke-a-do. They're broke-a-do. They ain't got no money to do. Meghan's trying to get $3,000 out of people. Harry's trying to do speaking engagements. What is the end result for these 2? Where will they end up?
As well. And it's a great example of like the heir and the spare, and why I think that William and Catherine are so important, and the way that they parent is so important in the sense that they're not raising a spare. They have 3 beautiful children. George knows what his future holds, but there's no pressure on Charlotte or Louis to, there's no spare pressure. There's no feeling like you're not enough or that you have a lost path.
I'm sorry, you can have this argument. People will go, oh, I feel sorry for Harry because he's a spare. You've had a privileged and entitled life, mate. Do something good with it instead of moan and bitch. This is quite interesting. We had a common Welsh service at the Abbey, if you remember. You've been watching the footage that Starmer got booed on the way in. A professional lip reader, they're slightly weird, those people, by the way. Prince William apparently told Princess Anne, I've had enough of hearing his name regarding Andrew. I mean, there is definitive proof that William has been very powerful in getting him banished, and that's why he sat in a cottage in Norfolk, not able to even ride a horse.
I do wonder if he's more sick of hearing the name Andrew than hearing the name Harry, because before this was. Can I just tell you though that Harry's also participating in an event in Australia. He's going to be one of the keynote speakers at the InterEdge, a safety summit, where he's going to be discussing mental health in the workplace, which is kind of a joke when you think about the cycle of employees.
He's never worked.
Not only has he never worked, JK, but think about the cycle of employees that have the Sussex Survivors Club.
Yeah.
They started
the Sussex Survivors Club. People have left the building. We don't want anything to do with Megadu or Harry. The Sussex squad ain't sucking it no more. The Sussex squad ain't sucking it no more.
a club. There are so many people that have left Harry and Meghan's team because they feel like they're terrible at leadership.
There are so many people that have left Meghan's building. They have left the building. Why have they left the building? Because they're sick of their shenanigans and their bullying and so on and so on. Come on, guys, help me reach that goal today. I got 2 more. Is it 3 more? Let me see how many I got. I got 1, 2. I should have them all. I should have met my goal. Let me see. 3 down and 2 to go. 2 more to go, guys. And it's the super sticker. Okay, if she's charging $3,000, is she gonna pay taxes? I doubt it. He couldn't even get his own wife help with her mental. He's a spokesman, exactly, for mental health, the love. Two more super chats, guys. 2 more super chats. Thank you in advance, and I will be singing you your own personal song. Your own personal love ballad. Okay. I'm going to drop the link just in case someone wants to come up and hang out for a few before we head out. Let's see what else they're saying.
And so the fact that he would be in a position to discuss mental health in the workplace, it's the,
and in fact, all those people, I read something like 5 PRs in
leadership. And so the fact that he club, there are so many people that have left Harry and Meghan's team because they feel like they're terrible at leadership. And so the fact that he would be in a position to discuss mental health in the workplace, it's the,
and in fact, all those people, I read something like 5 PRs in however long it is, all those people have left saying it's too much of a drain on us, they're ridiculous, they make too many demands. You're right, what about their mental health? Absolutely, categorically. For me, it's really interesting because, you know, this story, I mean, some of the press over here have started to attack William and Kate. The majority, they were saying, and we said it before, they are the clean slate that's needed to save the monarchy. I was away and Zara Phillips was there, and you only have to look at the monarchy. I even felt at Cheltenham this week that they're not on tenterhooks, but you can see that there's a different vibe amongst, not just amongst people, but there's a different vibe amongst the royals. And I think I do. I'm a royalist like you. I wanted to survive, and the more I see of this, the more I see of it. So every day, and I'll keep saying it, I think he might have to fall on his sword, citing illness, the king, to save the monarchy, because I think that William and Kate can sweep aside the Harry and Meghan BS, and they can sweep aside the Andrew stuff and start afresh, because I don't think the British public...
Oh, just because you want William and Catherine to be king and queen doesn't mean it's time for them to be king and queen. King Charles is king, and he's doing a great job in facilitating that. And to try to push him out is a shameful situation. Leave hashtag leave King Charles alone. Idiot.
Will probably swallow anything else. Do you know what I mean?
I do, but it doesn't help. And I would never defend the man, but it doesn't help the man that the United States is not pursuing further investigations or prosecutions of any of the people listed. Hopefully they'll unredact some of the documents that have been redacted, give us a better idea of everyone that's included on the list and how they were involved. But we're seeing both Mandelson and former Prince Andrew getting the brunt of this because there's no one else, in the same way that we looked at Ghislaine Maxwell and said, is she taking this for the team, you know?
I completely agree with you. Anyway, lovely conversation, growing boobs, drones into California.
Pedophiles.
What?
Pedophiles.
And pedophiles, yeah. Very good start to my day.
Okay, guys, I'm going to play one more video, and hopefully we meet our goal. If not, then we got to wait and meet our goal tomorrow. But I'm going to try to meet it today. Polo in the house. Oh, I got a super sticker. Polo's in the house.
Well, let's start slightly differently with Meghan Markle. I don't know.
A song for Polo. I gotta make up a song for Polo.
Views on Meghan Markle.
Wait, it's coming to me. It's coming to me. Polo, polo. Polo, polo. Polo, polo. Polo, polo. Get it, polo, polo. Get it, polo, 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 polo. Polo, polo. Polo, polo. Polo, 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 polo. Get it, polo. Get it, polo. Woo! Thank you, Polo. Thank you, Polo. Woo! Thank you, Polo. Thank you, Polo. Woo! Attention, attention, everyone. Put some hearts and some fanadoos in the chat for our wonderful Polos in the house. Polos in the house. Polos in the house. Hey, hey. Work it, work it, work it, work it, work it, Polo. Work it, work it, work it, work it, work it, Polo.
Regarding Andrew, I think he should be treated like everybody else. If there's
Polo's in the house. He's in the house. Polo's in the house. He's in the house. Thank you so much, Polo, for my wonderful super sticker. And I want to thank you personally. Thank you, Polo. Let's put some hearts and put some fanadoos in the chat for Polo, please. There you go, Polo. Work it, Polo. Work it, own it. Double song for Polo. Double song. Double song. Work it, own it, work it, Polo. Work it, own it, own it. Thank you, Polo. You're such a sweetheart. Polo's in the house.
Meghan Markle's lifestyle brand, As Ever, is never more at Netflix. But fans of the lifestyle brand don't fear, because it's continuing on as an independent entity with an apparent exciting year ahead. Meghan and Netflix both announcing the dissolution of their partnership regarding her lifestyle brand, called As Ever, March 6th, in press releases to People magazine. A spokesperson for the brand writing, As Ever is grateful for Netflix's partnership through launch and our first year. We have experienced meaningful and rapid growth, and As Ever is now ready to stand on its own. We have an exciting year ahead and can't wait to share more. Netflix also chiming in, writing, Meghan's passion for elevating everyday moments in beautiful yet simple ways inspired the creation of the As Ever brand, and we are glad to have played.
Whatever.
regarding Andrew,
We are not all into her As Ever brand. It's a boring to-do, just like she is. She's boring. And who cares? She shows a new photo of her and Lily. You can't see Lily. You can only see the back of her.
Prince Harry. So far they've done Colombia, Nigeria. About a month ago, they went to Jordan, just missing the war. So that was a relief. Nobody knows why they do this. I think it's because they can't work out what else to do. But they're off to Australia, so they need to pretend to be the king and queen or something when they go there. During this trip, Meghan Markle will be the main attraction at a weird £1,400 a head girls' weekend, a 3-day luxury retreat in Sydney from April the 17th to the 19th,
Watch out, nobody.
whereby the people who attend this will get to meet Meghan, post for selfies, that kind of thing. Guests will indulge in morning yoga classes, sound healing, a manifestation session. What the hell is that? What's going on, Samara?
Meghan is trading trash for cash at this point. I mean, seriously, she is. I don't think people understand, and I don't think Meghan understands, that Jackie O, who she's doing this retreat with, is kind of like the equivalent to a Gemma Collins or a Katie Price for Australia. That is who that, like, we call it, she's bogan. That's what we call them.
Jackie O.
Jackie
She's
O.
not steeped in history. They're not big on, the Kennedys or anything like that. Hey, Jackie O, if you're watching, that name's been taken by Jackie Onassis. But anyway.
No, you're right. It's a good sort of insight into this woman's intellect. I mean, this is someone who, it's really interesting because Meghan claims to be an ultra feminist, and this workshop seems to be a retreat where people will get to also talk to psychologists. They'll get to do the sound healing, as you said, the dinner and disco. I wonder if Meghan will attend. But I just want to tell you about Jackie O.
Yeah, please do.
She's got a shambolic record when it comes to supporting women, and people in Australia know that. So again, this is a massive misstep by Meghan and her so-called team, not doing any basic research. I mean, there was a very famous case. They're like radio shock jocks. You wouldn't know about what a radio shock jock is.
Yeah, I do. I have heard of Australia. I know what goes on there.
There's a very famous case where she questioned a teen rape victim on air, and
nice.
it was extremely controversial. Where she kind of dug into this teenager's sexual history. It was horrible. She's been complicit in calling ugly women dogs in many segments. Her and her team presided over the intern urine guessing stunt, whereby they used to get interns at the radio station to record themselves urinating.
Oh, that's
and then
nice.
They get hosts to basically.
We should try that on this show.
Exactly.
Do you fancy that, everyone? Let me know. 03444991000. Should we have some urine sounding sessions? Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. They basically got hosts to attempt to guess whose recording it was, and then they've got, they massively would always intrude on the sex lives of guests and female celebrities, and she's known to be a slut shamer. So it's comical to me that Meghan would choose to do a trip with this woman to Australia.
So the Her Best Life podcast that Meghan will be interviewed on, and it's part and parcel of this weekend. This is Gemma O'Neill is Jackie O'Neill's sister, or
like her business partner / co-host.
Okay, co-host.
I mean, this podcast that Jackie O hosts is basically a reputation rehab because her reputation is so shambolic and terrible over in Australia. And
only women are allowed to this. And as I say, it's going to be it will unfold at the 5-star luxury Intercontinental Hotel, Sydney Coogee Beach, on the waterfront of the eastern suburbs. There, guests will be put up in twin rooms, 2 breakfasts, a lunch, and 2 dinners. And the star attraction at the first evening will be a dinner and disco celebration with Meghan. But I mean, my point about this, we can laugh about this, are there no depths below which Meghan Markle will not sink? But, she is the daughter-in-law of King Charles, of our sovereign. She is married to King Charles's son, Prince Harry. And this tawdry event heaps embarrassment, yet more embarrassment, on our royal family, doesn't it?
It's a really good point, Kev. And, we all know the Queen's dying wish was to not have them do this pseudo-royal, sycophantic sort of lifestyle where they have 1 foot in, 1 foot out of the royal family, and they basically treat it like it's some sideshow gig that they can choose to opt in and opt out of. Yep. I do want to, people are forgetting this really good quote from this Valentine Lowe book. It's one of his recent books where he said, according to a source, after she came back from Australia, because that first trip, which was now 7 or 8 years ago, where they announced that, Meghan was pregnant with Archie, it was a very big trip. I remember I was there living in Australia at the time, and there was Meghan mania. People were, she was still on the up and up. There were crowds everywhere she would go. It was very popular. She actually reportedly said to staff, "I can't believe I'm not getting paid for this," while she was on her royal tour. And I feel like this is such a full circle moment for Meghan, where she's realizing the full potential of the quote unquote gravitas she can bring and the money she can make.
I want to talk to you about Winston Churchill in just a second, but the last point I want to make about this weekend, which I can imagine down-to-earth Australians really identifying with this. It's a sound healing experience, a meditation and manifestation session with morning yoga classes. It's not very cobber, is it? Not very shrimp on the Barbie, is it?
It sounds like my entire childhood. I'm just getting the flashbacks of waking up to my mum doing some vegetarian recipe.
Yeah, but you're an unusual Australian.
Yeah, I am an unusual. I'm joking. I've got an unusual textured past, as you know, Kev. Yeah. But no, it's not very shrimp on the Barbie. And, they're known for what their relatability. This isn't something Harry's certainly going to sign up for. It's very Meghan, but I don't think the Australians will fall for it. I mean, this is part of a bigger conversation, but there is the US celebrity version that does decently well for Harry and Meghan. Australians are far more like the British in terms of our cynicism for the royal family.
So this money-spinning tawdry event will be for 300 women. And we estimate that Meghan will probably make £100,000 from that weekend. Okay, that's good money for a couple of days for you and me. Amazing money. But, you know, she's got a multi-million-dollar lifestyle, of massive multi-million-dollar mansion in Montecito, flies around in private jets, so on and so forth, jet setting around the world. You know, £100,000 isn't much money. It strikes me that this is an indication of financial desperation.
I mean, I ran the numbers, and that event is going to make $420,000 or pounds, sorry, if it sells out. And Meghan wears about $120,000 worth of jewelry on her wrist at any one time. I mean, just the security for this trip is going to cost more than that. It doesn't make any sense to me, but it does reek of desperation. I mean, I'm sure you've mentioned, but her Netflix deal has basically been completely struck down today. That's no longer happening. They've completely parted ways. Also with her failed loose fruit spread.
They said that no one was interested.
No one's interested. You know, Ted Sarandos, the Netflix CEO, has had some nice pleasantries to say, but he's basically said, go away. Go away. That's a nice way of putting it. Yeah, I'm sure behind closed doors more.
Yeah, so, and I don't believe, as ever, her scam jam company, you know, the astronomically priced domestic products company, is making any money at all. So I wonder whether or not the gruesome twosome, the Sussexes, are in financial trouble. Now, talking of cash, what's your take on the Bank of England removing Sir Winston Churchill, Britain's greatest leader?
Meghan and Harry are broke-a-do, and it ain't looking good for them.
Regarding Andrew, I think he should be treated like everybody else. If this was like your next door neighbour and you found out that he'd been messing about, and regarding Andrew,
$3,000 to speak to them. Crazy. Okay, I want to show another video to you guys that Cece sent me. And let me show you it.
Argue with you, no. Look at you. Look at you. You wanna argue. I can't argue with you. You mad. I can't argue with you, no. Look at you. Look at you. You wanna argue. I can't argue with you. You mad. I can't argue with you, no. Look at you. Look at you. You wanna argue. I can't argue with you. You mad. I can't argue with you, no. Look at you. Look at you. You wanna.
Okay, one more video here. Is it the Jay-Z one?
That Jay-Z alleged a newly surfaced footage, an Epstein victim testifies that Jay-Z allegedly ran child safaris in Africa. Fucking hell, for Jeffrey Epstein's VIP associates and the global elite.
I'm a mother, a widow, and a survivor who's dedicated my life to helping other victims here in Nigeria. I speak plainly because the truth can't hide behind fancy words anymore. The American music star everyone treats like a god, Jay-Z, he's no hero, he's a predator. He's been coming to Nigeria for years, first with Jeffrey Epstein on those private jets, then alone, then with other celebrities, actors, singers, billionaires. They don't come for music, charity, or culture. They come to hunt children, child safaris. What if foreigners pay big money to chase our children through the bush like animals? they shoot for fun. When the hunt ends.
Okay, Cece, I think I played everything. All right, lovely people. Wait a minute. I did the Remy. Yeah, I think I showed them all. Let's go back. Okay, let's go back over here to my super chats. Before I go, guys, I want to thank you guys for my superstars. I want to thank Daisy Lee. Thank you so much for my super sticker. Bless you, doll. Leslie, thank you for my super sticker. Bless you, doll. Lisa, thank you. Lisa B, thank you for my super sticker. CC in the house. Thank you for my super sticker. The love in the house. Thank you for my super chat. And Polo's in the house. I said Polo's in the house. Thank you, Polo. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Lovely people. Hold on one sec. Beautiful people. Beautiful people. Meghan is not showing a new photo of her baby when her head is turned to the back. Let it go.
Now, would you pay $3,000 for a front row seat to listen to Meghan Markle?
That's the eye-watering price tag of a VIP ticket to see her during the couple's upcoming Aussie visit.
Thank you for the welcome you have given Meghan and I over the last few days. I've been so proud to be able to introduce my wife to you.
The last time the Duke and Duchess of Sussex came down under, Australia adored them. But the wildly popular 2018 tour marked a significant turning point for the now exiled royals.
The reception that they received, it seemed to embolden them within the royal family.
Fast forward 8 years and there will be no fanfare, no free public appearances when they land in Australia next month. Instead, Meghan Markle will headline an exclusive women's retreat. The weekend-long event is being hosted by Her Best Life podcast, founded by none other than Jackie O. Henderson and her best mate turned manager, Gemma O'Neill.
How has Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, this incredible woman, gone from Oprah to talking on stage with just little old me, Gemma, in Sydney?
The luxury retreat will be held here at the brand new 5-star Intercontinental Hotel at Coogee Beach. It's being marketed as the ultimate girls' weekend. Think drinks by the pool with a disco and a DJ. But tickets start at $2,700. The VIP experience, which includes front row seats at a gala dinner and a group photo with Meghan, will set you back around $3,000.
That is more than my rent. That is more than my rent in Los Angeles, California, to see Meghan Markle speak.
The eye-watering price does include 2 nights accommodation, meals, alcohol and wellness activities. The question is, will people pay that much to listen to gems like these?
Don't threaten me with a good time. Just my quote on the board today, just for the hell of it.
Put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat. Put a 2 in the chat if you think she's not worth the $3,000. What is she worth? Thank you, Polo. How much is she worth, guys?
It's not funky. We hit the streets of Coogee to test the waters.
Looks been interesting for the royal family and to see how they've changed, but I probably wouldn't pay to go and see her.
I won't be reading about them and I won't be watching them.
Yeah, and I certainly won't be spending money to see.
I don't think anybody's worth that much to see in person.
Public sentiment in Australia, it's cooled significantly. Surveys place them as low
They
as.
said nobody is that important.
Looks been interesting for the royal family and to see how they've changed, but I probably wouldn't pay to go and see her.
I wouldn't pay that much to go see her. Zero.
I won't be reading about them and I won't be watching them. Yeah.
I won't be watching them and I won't be going to see them. People are not going to see you. Why put a price tag on yourself and just allow them to donate? Wow. This is crazy. She doesn't want them there.
And I certainly won't be spending money to see them.
I don't think anybody's worth that much to see in person.
It's public sentiment in Australia, it's cooled significantly. Surveys place them as low as former Prince Andrew, I should say, in some cases.
Gwyneth Paltrow made a similar appearance with Henderson and O'Neill in 2023, reportedly pocketing between $150,000 and $500,000. Meghan is expected to be paid a far more modest sum.
Meghan, the girl that auditioned for the Shakira music video, the girl we see in the pilot episode of the new Beverly Hills 90210, she wants to remain relevant, and I think she's chasing fame, and Harry's just trying to pay.
She's chasing fame. She's been chasing fame.
The bills. So I feel kind of sorry for Harry.
Her other half, Harry, will give his own keynote speech on mental health at a summit in Melbourne with a platinum ticket to the 2-day event costing close to $2,400.
Wow.
I will tell you what I would pay $3,000.
Why in the hell would I pay $3,000 to go see her talk about word salad and talk about her, how she's a woman not in the kitchen? What the hell could she possibly have to say to me? Nothing. Boring. Let's go back. All right, guys. Let's shut it down. I love you guys so much. Thank you for allowing me to spend time with you.
How to win a prince. $3,000 for a play-by-play instruction on how to secure a prince. I'll be there.
Thank you, guys. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for my super chats and my super stickers. Thank you for being such a lovely time with me. I'll be back tomorrow, okay? Thank you, Pickles. Thank you, Cece. Thank you, Polo. Thank you, DeLove. Who else? Oh, thank you, Michelle Lee. Thank you, Cece. Kamori, thanks for being here. DeLove. Thank you, guys. Mwah. Hey guys, it won't cut off. Let me try it again. I'm still here. I can't get off. I can't hang up. It's too funny. I'm going to have to manually turn it off. Go into the light. Listen to my voice. Carol Ann. What was the father's name? Henry? Frank? Was it Frank? Go into the light, Carol Ann. Go into the light. I'm still here hanging out. You missed it, Marine? Okay. I'm going to try this again.